style. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Black Male Advice TV. I'm your host, Ringo. What I would like to talk about today is the topic of when children have no father. Yeah, that's right. You know, when children have no father, the house is going to be out of order. See, in today's day and modern times, a lot of women, they believe that they can somehow bring up children in a world that is evil. They believe that they can do it by themselves. I'm here to tell you that when a father is not in the home, you will lack the wisdom on how to guide your family. You see, as a father, what I've learned is that when you have children, you're not their friend. When you're a father, one of the main words that you're going to use all the time is the word no. It's one of those words children don't like to hear. But it's necessary because, see, as a father, you have the task of being a steward over people. You see, it's more than just going out there getting a woman pregnant. It's about governing people. And what most men don't understand is that when you're a father, the Most High entrusted you to govern a family. And this is why it's very important that women also understand that when you get involved with a man, if he lacked the ability of fatherhood, he don't know what that means. He's just a male. What you're going to get is a situation where you're not going to have a man that's actually leading and protecting a family. You see, having money is cool. Having money is one thing. But see, a father, he knows how to guide his affairs with discretion. He knows how to look at a situation and make decisions quick because he have the wisdom. He have the understanding of the foresight to see danger. It's something that a lot of people don't really consider. And I have grown to a level of maturity where being a father is a very, very serious responsibility. It's not a game. Oh no. I'm convinced that when women are raising children, their children are going to be destroyed. When there's no father in the home, ladies, you have to understand, you don't have the wisdom on how to properly navigate that household. There's certain things that you do that is great. There's certain things that you could do that, we can all benefit from. But when it comes to protecting, women don't have that ability. You can only do but so much. You see, when you look at the image on the screen on the left, what you see is an image of a son, a mother, a daughter, and a missing father. When you have a situation like that, when the father is not around, you have no wisdom, no protection, no guidance. You know, as fathers, you're going to have tough decisions, very, very tough decisions. And it's up to you to make those decisions. A woman cannot make those decisions. As a father, you're going to have to decide what's best for your children. You cannot be a child's friend. You have to be stern. Your word got to be what it means. You can't waver. You can't be like a woman. See, women typically negotiate with children. Women are very easy to manipulate. Children knows how to manipulate women. See, most of you ladies that have children, you find yourself allowing your children to do whatever they pretty much want to do because you kind of feel sorry for them. You know, if your child want to go here and do this and do that, for whatever reason, they'll talk you into letting them go. But you have to understand that as a parent, you're responsible for your children. And it's something that a lot of us really don't take serious. You see, when you have children, they need your protection. If you allow them to just go out into the world and just do whatever they want on your watch, and something happened to them, and they're under age, and something happened, as a parent, you're going to be held responsible. These are things that we don't really think about because a lot of times we figure, well, you got to let them experience life. You got to let them do this, do that, all these different things. And actually, that's not going to really help your child. As a parent, you have to have the skills of knowing right and wrong. See, most of you, before you became adults, before you became parents, you were once a child. Then you were a young man or a young woman. And you thought you knew everything, but you really don't know anything because you're naive. You don't have life experience. Fortunately for most adults, hopefully, you have the ability to make quality decisions. Sadly, in today's day, many women particularly, they don't have the understanding or the importance of a father being in a home because society have taught women that you don't need a man. You could do it by yourself. We could give you housing. We can give you food stamps. We can give you medical. You'll be good to go. You don't got to worry about nothing. We'll take care of you. As long as you don't have that man in that house, we'll take care of you. But then you notice that your son is involved in crime. He's in a gang. Your daughter has become a prostitute. Seem like everybody's hanging with the wrong people, the wrong friends. Well, that's because there's no man in the picture. You see, a real man, a real father, right? He looks at situations and he'll say, no. And everybody else will be like, why not? No. Do you understand me? See, the word that all fathers must learn to use is the word called no. It's a good word because it's designed to protect children. Can I go here? No. Could I hang out with this friend? No. Could I do that? No. Why? Because I said so. And then you explain exactly why. Now, most children, they don't understand. You have to understand, they don't, in their mind of minds, you're just stopping them from having fun. But let me explain to you exactly what's going on. When there's no father in the home, Satan comes for your children. This is why a man is supposed to be there. When a man is not in the household, women will allow their children to do things. They'll allow their children to go different places, to experience different things, because women are very naive and vulnerable, easy to manipulate. Whereas men, we could look afar and see danger. We could see that this is not going to be good or healthy for the children's upbringing, for their mental, mindset. We can't have them around certain things or certain influences because that will alter their development and growth. And we don't want to have different spirits inside the house. It's very important that you do that. Now, most of you ladies, you have what is known as a baby daddy. He's not really active in your child's life, so he can't really give you the wisdom needed. That can only come from a righteous man that follows the Most High. You understand? A man that don't follow the Most High, he's not going to have that wisdom. Even though he's a man, he's not going to possess the character needed to exercise that office of fatherhood. He's not going to be able to do a good job because he's going to be thinking like a woman too. So in order to spend any time with you, he's going to pretty much let children just do whatever they want to do. It's like when you spoil your children with gifts and toys and clothes and shoes, and you don't teach them the value of $1. You don't teach them personal responsibility like doing your chores, washing dishes, taking out the trash, cleaning your bedroom, things like that, helping out, tidy up the home. If you don't teach your children basic responsibilities, right? But you choose to spoil them with gifts, trips, vacations, you're a bad parent, because you're essentially making your children believe that somehow in life that all these things are just going to be handed to them, not realizing that in life you have to work for what you want. It's not going to be an easy road to just go out there and just have whatever you want. So spoiling children is a bad idea. Giving children exactly what they want just because you have it it's sort of like child abuse, in my humble opinion. Giving a child what they want because they want it, that's not good wisdom. You got to recognize that you have to make sure that your children are mature enough to understand why you're doing what you're doing. Just because you have the money to afford certain things doesn't mean that they have to have it. I mean, I'm sure you're not going to buy a 7-year-old a brand new car. You're not going to do that, right? But see, most of you parents, you do things like that. You buy them one of those electric cars. You know, those electric cars that it's like a toy, but it's really a machine with a battery and everything in it. And you buy that for them. And you allow them to drive around that throughout the neighborhood, and then they end up getting hurt. See? So you're giving them things that they really don't need, but you're doing it because you figure, well, I'm just making them have fun. When it comes to having fun, you have to understand that one of the greatest problems that I see within the Black community when it comes to family structure is that we're having too much fun. And an idle mind is the devil's playground. And when you have children, a lot of times we think that these are just kids, these are just young people. No, a lot of times they're so idle and they're not active that Satan comes along and try to scoop them up. This is where, as a parent, you come in. Your job is to protect them. You know, similar to the Garden of Eden when the Most High commanded Adam to pretty much guard the garden and keep out all intruders. His job was to guard the garden, make sure there's no danger. His job was to educate his woman, his wife, and pretty much keep her on point. But for whatever reason, Adam dropped the ball. He wasn't focused on what his wife was doing. And that's similar to what most women are doing today with their children. See, if we look at the story of Adam and Eve in the scriptures, we can clearly see a problem that is happening today. When modern women are exercising their motherly role, they tend to like to leave their children with other people. We see this danger the other day with the young lady that is 18 years old. She has a job, and for whatever reason, she left her child with some other woman that basically caused that child to pass away. And that's the results when you fail as a parent and you allow your children to be in the custody of some other person in whom you don't even trust, but you put your trust in, and you're not really a good steward of children. You see, me personally, I have never in the history of any of my children's lives have I ever let anyone babysit them. Never. I've never left them with my own mother. I never left them with their grandmother. I never left them with no one, because that's no one's responsibility but mine. Do you understand me? So I understand the importance of being a steward. You can't leave your children with someone else, because that's where we get different cases of child abuse. That's where we get different cases of physical abuse. You name it. These type of things happen all the time. Sometimes you have other kids that abuse other kids, and this is a result of when you neglect your children. So now when we factor in the story of Adam and Eve, and we look at the fact that his job was to guard the garden, he wasn't aware that his wife was pretty much being entertained by the serpent. Now, it took a while for his woman to pretty much be deceived and fall from grace. But the real question is, where was Adam the whole time? Why wasn't he around to, I guess, protect his wife? Why wasn't he there to keep the garden safe? That's the same way it is when a father is not in the home. See, Adam represents that father. He was not in the home. Eve was in the garden and danger was there. Just like you ladies that have children and you have no father in the home, your children are in danger. Not only are your children in danger, you're in danger as well, because you don't have a man that have the wisdom to pretty much guide you and pretty much protect the family and have the mental fortitude to lead you. You don't have that. You think you're smart. I believe you really do think you're smart, but really you're not. This is why your children are going astray. This is why your daughter is a 304. This is why your son is in a gang. This is why your son possibly got shot, or maybe your son passed away recently. Well, that's the results of when you have no father in the home. You see, the job of a father is to be a representation of the Most High inside of that house. His job is to literally look at your children and do what the Most High would normally do in different situations. That's what his job is for. Do you understand me? Your job is not to be your children's friend. So if you're a brother and you have children, you must understand that you are not your son's friend. You are not your daughter's friend. You are not none of their friends. You are their parent, which means you have to set the law, and the law got to be the law. You cannot waver. They have to respect your rule. They have to understand that you are the authority. If they can't respect that, if they don't know what that means, you're being a bad parent. You cannot allow your son to do what he wants. You cannot allow your daughter to do what they want. You cannot allow none of them to do what they want. They got to do what you say. You see, when I was growing up, it was a different time. You had a time where there was a lot of single mothers. There was a time when there was a lot of crime, a lot of drugs, a lot of issues in these streets. So for a woman back in the day to raise children, especially by herself, that was a pretty difficult task. Very, very difficult. But see, the difference is back then, we had a situation in the Black community where a lot of people took personal responsibility to kind of help out with the parenting. So if you had a mom that had no husband or there's no father figure in the home, a lot of times you had the neighborhood that would try to come in and lend a helping hand, not necessarily saying, hey, I want to help you raise your children, but they were concerned. So if they saw your child about to walk into the street, they would say, hey, young man, you don't want to be by that curve like that. You don't want to play there. That's not really cool. And we would offer this because that's just the way the community worked. They all did their part. So as we grew up, we had father figures in the Black community that would try to give us some game, try to coach us in the right path, because they knew there was really no father around. And unfortunately, many of us, we didn't make it. But we were able to survive because there were some people there that actually took the time to impart that wisdom, that protection, and that safety and guidance for us. All right? Okay. Let me see. I don't know if the video is still running smooth. It's saying excellent, but it's not moving on my end. So I don't know. Is everything going good with the stream? Put a 1 in the chat if everything is good, because it's pretty much stalled on my end. I don't know if anything is wrong on yours. So put a 1 in the chat if everything is running smooth, because the powers that be, they don't like this type of message. This is one of those kind of messages they really don't like. So everything is good on y'all end. Okay, so then we're just gonna rock out, because Over here, my screen is frozen, so I can't really see exactly what's happening on your end. I know I'm gonna pronounce your name wrong, so I'm just gonna say Had. I know you pronounced it the last time you gave me your name, and I pretty much pronounced it that time, but appreciate you for the super chat. I think you said last time that your name means something from the Bible. I forgot exactly what it is, but charge it to the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm far away from the screen. The screen is all the way far away, but I can see your comment. You said, Shalom family, Shalom Ringo. So happy I caught a live. Keep doing this work, Ringo. I really appreciate all of your shows on Roe v. Wade. It was all fire, on point. I pray our people are listening. Appreciate your support. All right. Okay, yeah. Your name mean Esther. Okay. I'm just gonna call you Esther. How about that? I'm just gonna call you Esther. If I see your name, I'm just gonna call you Esther, because trying to pronounce the other name is like it's really messing me up at this point. So I'm just gonna call you Esther when I see your name pop up. But see, I did remember, right? See that, right? Okay. So it's not like I didn't remember. But anyway, it's a time where we have to really step our game up as parents. Like we really do. It's like, it's one of those times where we have to stop playing. You're not having children just to have a bunch of kids running around. Like, you are their parent. They're gonna get upset. They're gonna cry. They're gonna be like, why, this, that. No. As a mom, you should have like a good, what's that word I'm looking for? Not instincts, but intuition. As a woman, you should have good intuition to pretty much see what is coming. Like, you should know that something ain't right. There are certain dangers that are awaiting your children. It's up to you to guide them. Would you think I'm crazy if I told you that Satan want to kill your children? That if Satan can have his way, he'll kill your kids. Would you believe that? Yeah. You see, if the devil can't get you, he'll go after your children. Yeah. This is why, as parents, you gotta always be there to make sure that you're making the right kind of decisions, because if you're not, you'll put your children in danger because they don't know any better. That's why you're there, to be a steward over your children. And see, ladies, when you're with a man and he don't have the ability to guide the family, you're in danger too. The worst thing you can have, ladies, is be in a relationship with a man, and he's the father of your children, and he don't know how to lead. He don't know how to guide. He make poor decisions. That's a sorry situation right there, because it's like he's not gonna help you to get to the next level. He's not gonna help you on making decisions for your children. Especially if you have daughters. If you are not a father in your children's lives, like, they're destroyed. Like, there's no hope for them. This is why, ladies, when you get with a brother, if he's not the type of man that is husband material, father material, you shouldn't be having children with him. It's something that you need to understand. You really do need to understand that. Right? Because a lot of these ladies are out here having these babies and there's no father figure in the home. That's like if your child want to go somewhere. I want to go here with some friends, or I want to do that with that friend, or I want to go over there. You as a parent, you're supposed to step in and say, no. Doesn't matter. You're supposed to say no. Why? Because you're being a parent. See, now, a lot of you ladies, You'll allow your children to go anywhere, do whatever they want to do, play with whoever they want to play with, be friends with whoever they want to be friends with. No, as a parent, you're supposed to actually cut friends off. If you find out that your children are friends with certain people that are no good, you got to cut that off. Yeah, you got to do that as a parent. You cannot just let your children just do what they want to do. Not on your watch. No, we're not going to play that. No. Could I go over here with so-and-so and so? No. Could I go here? It'll be cool. You know, we're going to have fun. No. See, a lot of children are spoiled today because parents just let them do whatever they want. And then when something goes wrong, who you going to blame? Who you going to blame? See, what a lot of you parents have to understand, and see, this is something that I've been practicing since the beginning. You have to always remember that you were once a child. And there's certain things that you know, certain things you experience that should tell you exactly how the world is right now. And it's sad that in today's day, a lot of women, they don't have the protection of a black man that's in the home. They don't have a father figure for their children. And they're raising these sons and these daughters in an evil world that want to see your children die. That's the world we live in. Satan can't wait to get his hands on your children. Satan can't wait to show them new sights. Satan cannot wait to influence your sons. Satan cannot wait to turn out your daughters so they could be 304s just like all these other 304s. And this is why there has to be fathers in the home to protect the children. Because see, a lot of these ladies, their lives are destroyed, their lives are ruined, and there is no hope for them. They're destroyed. And misery loves company. So a lot of times in this culture, you're gonna have a lot of women that they're evil because their lives are destroyed, because they've been ran through, abused, and destroyed. They want the same for your children. That's the evil nature of modern women. You even have some women that have children and they want their own daughters to suffer. Yeah. You got mothers that compete with their own daughters. Yes, indeed. And they want to see their children suffer. They really do. But see, when a father is there, he could look at the situation and he could say, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're not going to go here. We got to do this. We got to do that. Men have that ability. Men have that ability. How many of you ladies have erased the father of your children? How many of you ladies are living in a world where you have totally erased the father of your children, told yourself you don't need him, and now you're struggling. Now you're suffering. Look at the world around you. Look at what's going on. You see, what I've discovered as a father, right? And this is very serious. And a lot of you guys out there, you got to peep the game. You got to recognize the real. As a father, whether you have sons or daughters, you are responsible for guiding and protecting them. Your job is to make sure that they have the knowledge of understanding life. They have to understand accountability. They got to understand judgment. They got to understand their actions. You got to teach them that when they do certain things, there will be punishments. You must teach them these things because modern women are not teaching them these things. Modern women are not teaching the young children anything. They're just entertaining them, letting them play games and just have fun. Fun time is over. There's a time for fun, there's time for entertainment. But when it comes to being a parent, you must be a steward. For example, let's break down a whole bunch of different things. Let's talk about Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade. As you all know from my last stream, we talked about a lot of different issues regarding Roe v. Wade. Well, when it comes to parenting, that doesn't mean that you're off the hook. See, if you have always been a good parent, always been a good steward over your children, then when Roe v. Wade is overturned, that doesn't bother you because after all, you have always been a good parent. But see, if you're one of those kind of parents that just allow your children to just roam the streets, do whatever they want to do, play this little game, now is a time where you're going to have to be on your P's and Q's as parents. You see, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, you know what that means? That means that if your son is out there being promiscuous with young ladies and he happened to get one of them pregnant, oh yeah, now your son will be a father and you will be a grandmother. Yeah. That means if you're a 15-year-old boy, young man, I should say, goes out there and he's doing whatever he do with the young ladies and he got 2 or 3 different young ladies pregnant, you're now a grandfather, sir. If your daughter decides to go out there to live her best life now and decides to fool around with some young boys and turn up pregnant somehow, guess what? Welcome. You have another child to take care of. See, this is why, as parents, you're supposed to know exactly what's going on with your children at all times. See, a lot of you ladies, you don't really care because you are the same just like your daughter. See, you're out there on the block dealing with Pookie and Ray Ray, even though you're a mom with children, and yet you still on the low dealing with all these different guys when you're supposed to be training and guiding your daughters. See, as a father, you know good and well that if you have sons and daughters, it's your responsibility to make sure that you're teaching them about the birds and the bees and the so forth and everything. You got to talk to children straight up and down. You cannot sugarcoat anything. When it comes to life, when it comes to sex, when it comes to anything, you have to be very, very blunt and very, very straightforward with your children. Because in today's day, these particular topics, they know far too much about it. You'd be surprised what your children know. Oh, they're not dumb. They know exactly what's going on. So with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, all of you parents that are not good parents, you type of parents that just allow your children to go where they want to go, hang with their friends, hang with their girlfriends, you have to understand something about young people. Young people are doing the same things you were doing when you were young. Oh yeah. And don't think for a minute that young people are just young people and they're not out there experimenting and doing different things. Oh no. On the contrary, they're doing a whole lot of things. The truth of the matter is, are you talking about these things with them? You see, with the overturning of Roe v. Wade, a lot of times young people don't understand the consequences because they're young and dumb. And this is why, as a parent, you have to make sure that they are of the understanding of recognizing that if they are not responsible for their actions, they will be held accountable for their actions. Not only will they be held accountable for their actions, but you, as the parent, you will also bear the burden of their actions. Oh yeah. So what I recommend you do as a father is to be there in the lives of your children and learn how to say no. No is a good word. No should be the word they understand. And they shouldn't be upset. See, if your children are upset when you tell them no, you know what that means? That means you haven't told them no enough. Because if you told your child no enough and they understood the meaning of that word, when they hear it, they would understand the authority and the meaning behind it. But the problem is, a lot of you parents have always been telling your children, yes, you can go outside. Yes, you can play with that person. Yes, you can go on that trip. Yeah, you can go here. Yes, you can go there. And so what happens? They're spoiled. Now they can't take no for an answer. You see that? See, as parents, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be very frank with you. Listen to me very carefully. Let's turn the music off for a second. As parents, I need to make something very clear. Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully. If you are a parent, right? You have sons, you have daughters. And for whatever reason, something comes up. I don't know exactly what it is. Whatever the situation is, it comes up. And I guess someone you don't know, I'm talking about possibly a friend of your child, want perhaps your child to go somewhere, and you don't know that parent. You don't even know them. Don't let your child go somewhere. Does that make any sense? What am I saying? If you don't know a particular person and they're requesting that if your child can go on some trip or here or there, or it's cool, all expenses are paid on my end. Fam, that's the devil. That's the devil. Oh yeah. Because if you don't know them personally and you never broke bread and you actually go out there and you let your child go, you just put your children in the hands of the devil. Oh yeah. Y'all remember that woman? I spoke about that story a while back. A woman that she wanted to go out there and live her best life. Y'all remember that story? And her daughter drowned. Her daughter drowned because she left her kids. I'm not sure how many. I think it was about 4 kids. She left them with some other woman so that she can go off and have a break from being a mom. And what happened was one of her daughters ended up drowning because she was in the custody of some other woman. They weren't watching the children. Till this day. And remember, I told you that part of my family knows who that woman is. Like, they know her. So this is a close to home story, right? Till this day, that woman that lost her daughter, she's still on Facebook crying. True story. She's still on Facebook right now crying because her daughter died. Her daughter drowned. You know what I'm saying? Her daughter drowned. Real story, real spit. And it's the result of her letting her children go with someone else, and they were not watching her children. So what I'm suggesting to you parents is this. Even if you know the other adults, under no circumstances, listen to me, this is wisdom 101. Under no circumstances are you to let your children go anywhere with any other adult if you are not there. Do you understand me? In other words, if I personally am not taking my family on a trip, a vacation, or whatever the case is, then no matter who's going, no matter what offer is presented, none of my children will ever be able to attend. You know why? Because as a father, right, my job is to protect the house. But see, if there was no father in the home, I can guarantee you that a woman would let their children just go do whatever they want. Oh yeah. Women will let children go do whatever they want. This is why we need fathers in the home, because fathers will set the law. Fathers would say, no. What do you mean you're going here? What are you talking about? Oh, it'll be fun. I'll have a lot of fun. And no, you're not going nowhere. But, hey, you'll get over it. Y'all remember those days? You'll get over it. It is what it is, because see, you're supposed to know when Satan is around, brothers. This is not a game. Like, as men, you're supposed to recognize when Satan is nearby. You're supposed to know that the devil is coming to seek whom he may devour. And if you just allow Satan to just walk into your house, it's the same as him walking into the garden and you didn't keep out all intruders. Same thing. You understand? As a father, you're needed. You're needed because women cannot raise these children by themselves. They can't. They need the wisdom of a man. They need the protection of a man. They need the guidance of a man. Because that's the only way we're going to be able to guide these children. They're in danger. You must understand that your children are in danger. And Satan is after your children. And it's up to you brothers to be fathers, whether you have children or not. When you do, you're a steward. Your job is to protect. It's not just a word you say. It's a word you must practice. It's not something you just hear me say. You got to walk in those shoes. And you got to do it. And your kids will be upset. They will cry. We get it. That's a part of life. As a parent, your job is not to be emotional. As a parent, your job is not to be emotional. You don't negotiate with children. You tell them what they have to do, and you set the law, and they must follow. And if they don't follow, they will be punished. Oh, yeah. See, that's the way life is supposed to be. Unfortunately, most households, it ain't like that. There's a missing father. There's a man who is missing. Notice the daughter. Notice the daughter have no father. You have the sons, she's with the mom, but notice the daughter, there's a father missing. And you're wondering why your daughter is a 304. You're wondering why your son has a gun under his bed. Just the other day, a 16-year-old died. He lived in the area. They moved out, went somewhere else. 16-year-old is dead now. These are the results of what happens when parents are not parenting and they just kind of allow the youth to just go astray and do what they want to do. This is what happens. Shout out to Sean for the super chat. Said, facts, Ringo. We are the high priest of our family. It's our responsibility to keep our wives and children clean in the eyes of the Most High. Facts. It's very important. So I need for you to understand that being a parent is a full-time job. It's not a game. There's no negotiating. You must protect your children at all costs. Oh, could I go swimming? No. Why? I'm not gonna be there. That's why. See, if I'm there, I'm gonna keep my eye on you like a lifeguard. If I'm not there, I cannot entrust that someone else will do my job. If I'm not there, I cannot trust that someone else is gonna do my job. See, those of you who know how to do your job, you know what you do best. Would you entrust someone else to do what you do? because they're not going to do it like you. No one will be able to watch your children like you. Oh yeah. No one, I repeat, no one will be able to watch your children like you do. So why would you put that in someone else's hands? It makes no sense. If you're not going on the trip, you don't let your children go. I don't care if it's your next door neighbor. I don't care if the neighbors have money. I don't care what's going on in their life. If they offer, all expense paid trip to X, Y, and Z, y'all can come, the kids can come, they're gonna have fun, we're gonna watch them. The answer is no. The answer is no. Because if something went wrong, will you be able to live with it? If bad news came back that one of your children perished, what will you say? How would you feel? To know that you allowed your children to go in the hands of Satan and then bad news came knocking at your door. Would you be able to live with yourself? Would you be able to sleep at night knowing that your child lost their life because of your negligence? Shout out to Rebel for Almighty for the super chat. Said Bob Marley didn't let his kids play with other kids because he wanted strong bond with each other. It's important. It's very important because there's too many negative influences around our children, and these are things that we have to really govern and guide them. Listen, the Garden of Eden never stopped. When the Most High said to keep out all intruders, he wasn't just talking to Adam, he was talking to all of us brothers. Our job as men, our job as fathers is to continually keep out intruders. It's to continually protect the garden at all costs. That's our job. Do you understand me? Our job as men is to protect the garden. Our job is not to play games. Our job is not to, just let children just do whatever they want and hang with whoever they want. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to be just letting them just go their way. Even the Bible says that a child left to themselves shall bring shame to their mother. That's crazy. A child left to themselves will bring shame to their mother. You know what I mean? You have to train up a child in the way they should go. And when they are old, they shall not depart from it. That's what the scripture says. Shout out to Esther. I got your name right. Esther, right? Okay. For the super chat, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of Yah. There you go. There you go. You got to bring them up. You got to bring them up in the truth. But listen to me very carefully. A lot of times we hear the term truth. We got to be in the truth. We got to bring them up in the truth. You got to make things practical. You got to make things practical for young people. A lot of times we become religious, and I'm not saying that you folks are all religious. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that for most of us that are in the truth, we make it seem like it's unattainable, like it's something that's boring, like something that I don't want to do that. You got to make things practical for young people to understand and follow. You got to teach them right and wrong and make it make sense. It's not complicated. Following the Most High is not complicated. It's not. It's easy. Right? So we're going to have a couple of more streams on these type of topics. I believe that I'm an expert in this particular area. Truthfully speaking, it's one of those type of topics that we don't hear much of. We don't hear about people talking about parenthood and being a father or a mother and so forth. We don't really hear that. We just see people having kids, but nobody's really parenting. So hopefully this particular stream, I guess, sparks something in you to kind of step your game up. Being a parent is not about yelling at kids all day and just being an idiot. It's about imparting wisdom, instructions, and understanding in their life so they can understand. Right? In due time, as they get older, they will realize that the whole time you were protecting them from danger. Normally, when you're young, you don't realize what's taking place. But over time, they will learn that it's for their well-being. Let me talk to you ladies for a second. I'm gonna be on for about probably 10 more minutes. Let me talk to you ladies for a second. Let me talk to you mothers. When it comes to dealing with your daughters, right? You gotta understand something. We live in a world where a lot of young ladies are watching TV. They're watching what's going on. They know about all the mess. They understand all of this type of stuff. So as ladies, as mothers, you got to recognize the game. You got to recognize that your daughter is not stupid, right? She got friends. As a mother, you was once a young lady too, right? So as a mother, you should know what's going on. So you got to know how to talk to your daughter. You cannot beat behind the bush. You can't be playing games. You got to talk to her about real topics. Like I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking? You got to talk. You got to open up and be like, look, who are your friends? What are they doing? Where are they going? You got to talk that real ish with your daughter. You can't be sugarcoating stuff because they know what's going down. When you talk to them straight up, they're not going to play games with you because they realize that, you know what it is. And also you want to have that open door of communication. A lot of times, because you're angry about something, you make them close up to the point where they're not opening up about what's going on. You have to have that open door of communication. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very important. Because a lot of times, first of all, as a parent, you're supposed to know what your children are thinking. We have that in our ability as parents to know the thoughts of our children. We know what they're doing, if something's going on, if they're lying. These are built-in things you're supposed to know as a parent. It shouldn't be me trying to guess. No. As a parent, I'm supposed to know. Something's supposed to go off. An alarm is supposed to go off, and I'm supposed to know. You're lying. Tell me the truth. What's really going on? You're supposed to know these things. That's called wisdom. Good intuition. Spiritual discernment. You're supposed to have these things in you, built in as a parent. But see, this is why you're supposed to be connected to the Most High. If you're not connected to the Most High, He's not going to give you that ability. He's not going to give you that ability. So, that being said, I don't want to stay on too long. We've been on for about 54 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, ladies, man, again, when your daughters are hanging around other girls, you have to know and explain to them the dangers because you were once young, right? So you got to talk to them about their friends, because most young people don't realize that the people they call their friends are really not their friends. Most of you, you're aware of this. They're not your friends. These are just people that you are associated to when you're young. As life goes on, you're never going to see those people again. Most young people, they don't understand that. They believe these are like their friends for life. No. You're going to leave those people. Those people are never going to remember you. They're going to go their way. You're going to go your way. You got to explain that to them so that they don't get caught up. Because a lot of times friends will try to introduce your child to things that are ungodly. And this is why you have to protect them. See, the goal of a parent is not necessarily to keep your kids isolated from the world. That's not really going to help them. We don't want to keep them isolated or imprisoned. No. The goal is to give them the understanding of what's going on, not letting them go out there to make bad choices and get themselves in a mess, but to make decisions to protect them, as well as give them the education and the understanding of the danger, so that as they grow and mature, they begin to appreciate the fact that you were there to guide them. Similar to a guidance counselor in a school or a teacher, you have to be there to impart wisdom and understanding in them so that they can navigate, so that when they're around their friends and they begin to see the danger, because you taught them, you explained to them that if these people were your friends, they wouldn't let you do this, they wouldn't tell you to do that, they wouldn't do that. So as they go and they notice the signs, they will begin to say, wow, everything my father taught me, I'm seeing. So now what do you think they're going to do? They're going to backpedal and say, you know what? I don't want to go. Why you don't want to go? I thought we were going to hang out. I thought we friends. I got something to do. I'm going to head on back home. Why? Because it's fulfilled. If you train up a child in the way they should go, when they're old, they will not depart from it. That being said, I'm going to sign out. It's your boy Ringo. We back with another stream, and I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out, y'all. Peace. We out.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Black Male Advice TV, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100%